thank you very, very much for being here this afternoon, which is a momentous time in the history of the Germanna Foundation. And this has been a generations-long process to recover what for us is the missing piece in our history of becoming Americans. And so our predecessor organization tried to acquire this 62-acre site in 1955. And here we are many years later, and after 3 years of negotiations in the 21st century. There were other negotiations that didn't go so well in the past. But we're just delighted to have everyone here, and really delighted to have President Hurley here to represent the University of Mary Washington, which owns the site. And Kathleen Kilpatrick, who is the director of the Virginia Department of Historic Resources. And we will be signing documents that will be transferring this 62-acre site to the stewardship of the Germanna Foundation. And so we're just very, very honored that you are here today, but I want especially to thank people by name, because all of you have contributed and made significant impact on us moving forward. But I would really like to first thank our Board of Trustees, who have been through thick and thin and up and down in this whole process over many, many years. My first Vice President, Dr. Catherine Brown. Second Vice President, Ellis Hitt. Our Treasurer, Skip Poole, is off on a cruise, which, if you know Skip, is the typical thing, right? But this was a business-related one he couldn't afford to miss. Our Secretary, Barb Price. Dr. Michael Frost. Kathy Chlorfrost, and they're not related, but Horst Schneider is our trustee in Germany, who is from the ancestral villages. Bruce Davis. Jason Holtzclaw is in Arkansas, where he lives. Kim Abey from Fauquier County. I don't think she's here this afternoon. Andrew Gotowski is in Poland visiting his father. He and Michael Frost are both Spotswood descendants. Ann Green Bays. Keith Hoffman took ill this morning. He's back in Arlington. Stephen Chanko, our newest trustee. John Pierce was hoping to come this afternoon. He is a trustee emeritus. Dr. Frank Turnage, trustee emeritus, former executive director, and for over 20 years, president of Germanna Community College. And we're very, very grateful for your leadership. Russell Hitt, our honorary trustee. And someone who is not here and that we need to be mindful of, and that is Betty Schneider. She was the one who was living here in Orange County, was alarmed that the Fort Germanna site was being developed for a home of a big developer, and stepped in and bought the property from him, and was the individual who saved that site from being absolutely destroyed. Wow. And so we are very thankful for her stewardship, that we could be here today on the cusp of having this missing piece of our story of becoming Americans back with the Germanna Foundation. And with the University of Mary Washington, I would like again to thank President Hurley and also Marty Wilder and Rick Pierce. Yeah. They have been our contacts over the last few years, and thank you very, very much for making this day possible. In the administration in Virginia, I'd like to thank Governor Robert McDonnell and his staff, particularly Jeff Palmore, Secretary of Natural Resources Doug Dominich, the Director of the Department of Historic Resources, Kathleen Kilpatrick, with the Director of the Department of General Services, Richard Sawaski, Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, and his staff, Attorneys Steve Owens, Carrie Nee, Lyman Brown with DGS, on Kathleen's staff, Joanna Wilson Green, Jillian Bairns, and my friend J.D. Dardarian, who helped open many of these doors for the Germanna Foundation. And you know, I also want to thank our staff who are here today, Barbara Bounds, John Howard, Dick and Lita Sherquist, and someone who is at times a Germanna widow, and that is my wife, Marie. And my children, Benjamin and Laura Elizabeth, who are perhaps the youngest descendants here this afternoon, and they will be ringing the bell in celebration after our time. So, oh, there's another one. There's another one. You know, what I would like to close with is what we have been closing many of our reunions in recent years with, to get people ready for this day. And it's from T.S. Eliot, who I think is one of America's greatest poets. And he had something in one of his poems that I think really speaks to us. And he wrote, "We shall not cease from exploring, and at the end of all our exploration will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time."
Yes.
Thank you. Let me introduce Kathleen Kilpatrick, who has been such a force for saving important historical sites like Fort Germanna and the Enchanted Castle. And we just so appreciate your work over all these years, and your encouragement to keep pressing on. So thank you very, very much,
Thank
Kathleen.
you, Mark. Thank you so much. I believe that this is a remarkably important day, not only for the foundation, but also for the university and for the Commonwealth. And I'd go so far as to say the nation. Mark spoke about becoming Americans. That's not a Germanna story. It is a nationwide story. None of us are from here, unless you're Native American. And of course, the historical record shows us that even Native Americans came from elsewhere. We are all part of becoming American. And this is one of the most important sites in the Commonwealth and in the nation because of its early roots, the complexity of the site. It is a really profoundly important archaeological site. It's one that deserves our attention. I want to thank the university for being good stewards all these years, but particularly President Hurley for recognizing that sometimes the better part of stewardship means finding a good partner. And that's what this is really about, finding a good partner, the right partner for whom the preservation and exploration of this site is of utmost importance, and allowing them to do their work. That's what the future holds. It also means allowing us to be a part, as the State Historic Preservation Office, of what the future holds for this site. The foundation intends to enter into a preservation easement with the Department of Historic Resources once the transfer is made, and that's a hugely important commitment to the future of this site. It is, in simple terms, a promise to the future. It says, we are here, we will be good stewards, we will partner, again, that's that great word that is always part of preservation, with the Commonwealth of Virginia for in perpetuity to recognize not only the importance of this site, but to tease out its full value in telling us about our shared and deeply important history. So thank you so much for what you've done today and the commitments that you are making. And thank you to the Germanna Foundation, to the Board of Trustees, and to the members who have taken on the challenge of the future. Thank you very much.
Well, my journey on this project began in 07-08 when your colleague, Frank Turnage, visited me in the office where I was serving as acting president at the University of Mary Washington. So it was my first introduction to what I'll call the issue. And I remember how convincing and persuasive Frank was in his conversation with me about this is something that ought to happen, and gave me all the reasons why. If you know anything about higher education, nothing moves very quickly, at least not in the four-year schools. And so I immediately began to inquire about how we're using the property and so on and so forth, and felt some resistance. And then another year and a half went by, and I became the permanent president of the university. And Frank revisited the subject with me, and I pressed a little bit more forcefully from my new role to find out that we had been good stewards. We did some archaeological digs. We were caring for the property, sort of protecting the property, but we really weren't going to go much further than that. And so it became, to me, it became the right thing to do. If we have a party like the Germanna Foundation that's interested in the property and wants to take it further than we could or did, then hallelujah. So from that point on, I have to thank Kathleen for her guidance and her department's guidance and how we got to this day. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank my staff over here. They carried the water for the institution. And a woman by the name of Carrie Nee, who is our attorney in the AG's office, really did a lot of work on this. So thanks to all of them. We're here, and I'm very grateful that we are. Thank you.
So we have some papers to sign here. Why don't we? Could I ask the Germanna Foundation trustees to come behind us here? A good opportunity. No. All right. More durable.
I used to have glasses that tinted.
Does anybody want to borrow my hat?
First, with Rick.
I'm going to sign these on my family Bible. The first document that we're signing is a cooperative agreement for the development of the archaeological and historical potential of the Germanna property. And so this is for the intention and formal sign over of the transfer of the Fort Germanna property. And been looking forward to this for a long time.
Your hand is shaking.
Exactly.
There,
It has to go down the way.
pass that along to you, Mr. President. Should we use the same pen?
How they do this in the movie.
I
Well, like I come to uses 25 minutes to sign one.
Right.
Thank you.
Takes out eBay
Notary. Yes.
There you go.
Okay, and then sign that one there.
One nice thing about everybody using an iPhone is there's no flashes.
All right, so this next one is a copy of the quitclaim deed that requires the signature of President Hurley.
Ah.
Very good. We've got our notary here. And
The next thing we're going to sign is the deed of easement between the Germanna Foundation and the Department of Historic Resources. Uh-oh.
yeah, don't run out of ink now.
I have a backup.
And that will need to be notarized as well.
That's better.
Under here.
Yeah, he needed to be over there.
Yeah, the spots was make sure it's all nice.
Is there any way we can kind of fade him so he looks like a ghost?
Photoshop.
And just sign this, right? The
That's
baseline
exactly
documentation.
what it's called.
Yes, but you can keep.
Okay.
Exchange signatures. Sheets. All of these documents will be duly recorded in the next couple of days, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Closer. Get in there
Could we,
closer.
yes, let's have the Governor Spotswood and the university staff and honor and trustees emeritus need to be up in here.
There, right there, right there.
Russell Hitt, honorary trustee. Come on.
Okay, photo on Kennedy there. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I got several cameras here, so.
Good.
Hold on, I'm still taking. You know, I gotta do my angle.
Now, Benjamin and Laura Elizabeth and Clayton Fishback, could you go and ring our bell for us in celebration?
They're over there.
All right.
They're around, they're ready.
Kathy, do you want a picture of that too?
And then my ancestor's sister
But I just watched.
is her sister. I know that. So we're all, that's how we're related, cousins. Yeah, all those Otterbach girls.
I traced your tree all the way down. Now I got your tree all the way down. She joined the foundation.
And she's gone on 2 Germany trips. Yes. My ancestors were back to Germany.
Northern Germany.
Because you really don't want to have it completely filled up, then you got to think of somewhere else.